Spartacus was an Egyptian slave who belonged to the Kro family, which in the Egyptian language means animal. He had been bought from the Greek city of Athens. Shackled in iron chains, this slave had become sunburnt and turned brown under the scorching heat of the sun. His entire body had turned rough and stone-like from the lashes of whips. The chains were so heavy that it was difficult for him to walk upright. His neck was thick, but due to the constant friction of the chains, wounds and boils had formed on it. Along with other slaves, he would crawl on the rocks, rubbing his stomach against the stones. They worked all day long and were then shoved into the barracks where their chains were unfastened. For an entire day of hard labor, their reward was just a single bowl of food and half a leather bottle of water. The water was so scarce that gradually their kidneys would fail, and when they died, they were thrown into the desert. The stench and foul smell in the barracks were unbearable, but the slaves never vomited even when they felt nauseous. They were afraid that vomiting would cause them to lose an ounce of the precious food in their stomach. Spartacus was not like other slaves, he was like a rock. Yet, somewhere deep inside, he still had a sense of compassion which made him share in the pain and suffering of other slaves. All the other slaves called him Father. When any slave asked him, "Father, what kind of hell is this?" Spartacus would reply, "Everything will be fine." Eventually, Spartacus came out of the mines and Batiatus bought him and added him to his gladiators. He was given all the luxuries of life, but now his job was to kill. He was sent to the arena, and his task was to kill his opponent and entertain the crowd. At this point, Spartacus made a plan to fight for his and his fellow slaves' freedom. He decided that he would kill no one. He gathered his fellow slaves and told them about his decision. One of his companions asked, "Father, then what will we do?" Spartacus replied, "For now you all separate, I will tell you what to do next." Among these slaves was the German woman Varinia, who had been given to Spartacus as a wife by his master Batiatus, and who loved Spartacus deeply. Spartacus, following a carefully thought-out plan, sent a message to all the slaves and gladiators, and then at a predetermined time they all declared rebellion. They made Spartacus their commander and broke out of their training schools. They fought against the Roman soldiers. Skilled in the art of battle, they were even better than the soldiers. There were street battles, and dead bodies filled the streets. The slaves broke open the government armories, seized the weapons, and then began climbing to the mountains. Varinia was with Spartacus. They all sat in a village field under the sunlight. One of Spartacus' companions asked, "Where will we go now? Everywhere this system of slavery exists." Spartacus replied, "We will go everywhere. We will free the slaves and include them in our army. We will fight the Roman army. Only God knows whether victory will be ours or Rome." Spartacus then said, "We will build a world where there will be neither slave nor master. Whatever we conquer will belong to everyone collectively. Except for one's wife, no man will keep another woman with him. Women will have equal status as men." The Senate in Rome sent troops, but Spartacus and his slave army destroyed them. A heavier force was sent again, but thousands of slaves divided themselves into groups of 10 and annihilated them. They seized the soldiers' weapons, stripped the clothes off their bodies, and loaded everything onto carts. Only one soldier was left alive, and they told him, "Go to the Senate and deliver my message. You sent an army against us, and we destroyed it. We are not slaves whom you call talking tools. The world has grown weary of you. The world is tired of the sound of whips that you rain upon us slaves. Once all men were equal, but you divided them into masters and slaves. We are better human beings than you. We have everything that makes a good human." Spartacus and his companions resisted Roman rule for 4 years, but eventually 70,000 Roman soldiers surrounded Spartacus' limited army and annihilated it. When Spartacus saw death approaching, he gave his final orders to his maidservant like this. "On the table are rows of pouches, each pouch containing a certificate of freedom for every one of my slave companions. Each pouch contains 20,000 sesterces, Roman coins. I want you to give these pouches to them and tell them to leave immediately." Then he opened the cupboard, took out his Hispano sword, and a smile ran across his lips at the thought of killing himself. Spartacus did not die. He is still alive. As long as one man labors and another steals the fruit and profit of that labor, Spartacus will live, sometimes in whispers, sometimes in loud protests. This Spartacus is a novel written in past and present tense. The central idea of the novel is to present those values that living humanity has dreamed of since the beginning of time, values like freedom, love, hope, and a happy, fulfilling life. Spartacus is a metaphor for every man who rebels against oppression, who takes revenge on the oppressor, and who fights for his right. It has been translated into almost every language of the world. Howard Fast completed this masterpiece while in prison.